and I'm going to show you guys how to, make a night sky. And so we're going to take this and hopefully make it in something like this. So first things first, we're going to take the brush that we have. This is in the drive under Style Guide, and I believe it's also in the brushes folder in Style Guide. So we're going to take this. It should be titled El Gato Layout Brush. It should be Darrow's special regular version. And you can see I started kind of building this up, but we can start from the bottom. So I start with this base color, and then I go over and I take a darker blue, and I go and I'm going to add some texture to this. Now you can choose to do a variety of different things to create texture with this, and you can see my opacity right here. And, you can do sweeping ones that are nice. And I think it's also nice to do shorter strokes because it adds a lot of variety, and then you don't get that little repeating pattern in there from the brush. So we're just going to do that a little bit, and we're going to put some darker colors in there. So it looks better, it'll look more fun, so we're going to do that. And so you're kind of just experimenting with this, I can't really tell you anything more beneficial than just saying to experiment with it and see kind of where it takes you. It's a very fun brush to play with, and so I think hopefully you guys will have a nice experience with it as well, and you can get a lot of variety out of this. So actually, with that being said, let's get started on that. So I'm going to take some more purples, and I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and I'm going to start we're just going to start layering over things, And I'm going to start putting some blues back in there. Put some of these blues because, it's help lighten it up. And you can see that repeating pattern, it's kind of apparent, it's kind of not. It depends on your shot. We can always go over this, so we will deal with that in a little bit. Okay, we're getting that kind of funky line. So we're going to kind of go over this. Keep going. And sometimes you make a layer, and if you don't like the way it looks, that's fine. It's totally fine. You can go back, you could redo it. I usually try to keep my brush at a higher opacity if possible, just because if in the lower ones, for this, you just lose out on all that texture because you can't see it, right? So I go in and I do this, and I go in, I'm going to do that more. And you basically just keep layering it, and keep going over it. And I'm going to go and I'm going to take some of these. I like to dab it too sometimes because, it adds a, sometimes you get something like that and you don't really always want that there. Now sometimes it's nice, but sometimes it does look a little stark compared to the other colors around, so you can always just go and undo that. I'll bring that back down. Okay, so now we got just mainly blues, alright? So that's fun, but it's, could be more interesting if we had some purples in there. I think that looks more interesting here, so we're going to add that in there. We're going to put some darker purples because we want it to stand out. We still want his silhouette to be seen or something like this. So go back. I'm going to start putting that there, right along that. I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to put something even lighter. Because if it ends up being too light, we can always go and tone it down. Alright, so we're starting to get something. We're starting to get something more interesting, that's got a lot of different colors in it, and I don't even really take the opacity down for the brush all that much just because I like that texture in it. And if we get something like this, we can always just go over it. So I'm going to lighten that a little bit. Make that more of a darker blue. And now I'm just going to kind of go over with another layer. So see what we did in that one. So we brought the light up, and now we're going to take it back down. All right, maybe not that low, but and you can see like we're starting to get kind of a texture here that we're, that complements well with the scene we're going for. And it's really all you want to do. You just want to keep going until you think it looks good, but don't spend a lot of time on it. Because I've only spent about 10 minutes on this now, and it's starting to get to a point where you can almost just start refining it. And so we're gonna just kind of go over. Just gonna make sure that that is dark. I want that to be our darkest dark. And I'm gonna go over. So that's just basically, that's not much. So I'm gonna merge that down with a darker layer, right? And so I'm gonna, nope, not that. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start bringing out some of these purples. I'm gonna probably lower that, and we can put that. And I might make this a little lower. Make this at like 84. You see, we're just trying to bring back that variety of color here. Maybe that's a little too much, but just trying to make a interesting scene. So it's kind of all it comes down to, really. And so we have that. That's our like nice highlights, right? And we can put some more here. We can put some more highlights there. Be kind of nice. Or we could just keep that dark. And you know what we'll do? We'll go on top. Bring it back to blue. We'll make this more of a blend. Take the color that's about there. You don't really want to go much darker than about here. You don't want to make it black. Don't make it black. I'm just going to go, I'm kind of curving this down, so that's kind of what you want to do. So that's kind of an example of what we want the night sky to look like. And I mean, you can experiment too with some other, like sometimes you can throw a pink in here and it'll look really nice. So we could actually try that now. So that could look really nice. You just want to make sure you're not too heavy. Looking at a orange always looks really nice. I can always take that, lower that down a little bit. If you like that, that's fine too. Kind of looks like galaxies or Milky Ways. And so there's that. And something we can do too, and I can put this brush in the drive, is I have a brush that is actually supposed to be a snow brush, but it works really great for stars if you have it at a lower pixel. And let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Okay, it's this one. And you can get some really, really nice, see how big that is, yeah. You can get some really nice kind of stars with this, so, we can make this a little bigger. You don't want to go too big on that. But you can kind of start to add your stars in a little bit. You don't want to go like heavy, like that's too much, and you can tell it visibly looks like snow. But if you go a little lighter, and sometimes it's nice to sandwich this between your that layer, even lower than that one maybe. You can kind of start to see it through. Like maybe that's a little too much, maybe it's not, I don't know. You just kind of experiment with it. You don't want to do like hard scribbles, you kind of want to keep it sporadic, like there's just like kind of stars that are being shown. So it's kind of something like that, you know, you can start to get the stars in there. And see, it's starting to look like that Milky Way kind of look. And so you just kind of go in. And hopefully you guys will have, you know, you won't have to do it for so long as I have to for this one. But even if you do, you know, it's still manageable. If it's ever not, you guys feel like it's not, let me know if you have any questions. And so it's kind of what it's going to look like. And you just kind of repeat that for the whole sky. But yeah, so that's what we got. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I can do another tutorial for the sunset.